Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I'm CrystalDivineQueen and this is my indigenous lifestyle. We got a different scenery going on today. Grand risings, because it is the rising where I am at right now. I'm out here doing my rising ritual as always, and I was like, it's nice out here. Let me get my camera and record a Becoming a Doula episode for y'all, because it's been a while and y'all need to be updated on a few things. So first, I'm going to just talk about the struggles of getting your first client and what that's been like for me. I don't want anyone who is pursuing this birth work to feel like it's going to be a struggle for them. This is just me sharing my journey and what it's been like thus far. So I am at the point where I'm just ready. Like, I'm ready to get my feet wet. I'm ready to work, but it hasn't been easy. Like, it hasn't been smooth sailing, attracting that first client. So real quick timeline, September 2018 is when I started my indigenous lifestyle. And in September 2019 is when I started my Becoming a Doula playlist, series, journey. You know, that's when I made the decision to get into being a birth worker. And from then to now, thus far, I feel like I haven't had my first client. And when I say that, I mean like a client who I am with at the beginning of their pregnancy. I'm working with them. We're having our prenatal meetings. We have the birth experience together. And then I also am there to support, you know, through the postpartum phase. I haven't had that yet. Technically, my best friend was my first client, but I don't like to refer to her as my first client. I like to just refer to that as an experience, you know, and not so much during her pregnancy, because throughout her pregnancy she lived in a different state. Now, yeah, we talked on the phone all the time because that's my bestie, but I played the role of her bestie. I didn't play the role of her doula. So my experience with her is when she went into labor. I did act as her doula virtually through her labor. Her plan was to give labor at home as long as possible and then eventually go to the hospital. So for the part she was at home, I did act as a doula. But then once she got to the hospital, I was no longer a part of the birth experience. So I don't consider her a client. I could just consider, you know, that was just an experience that I had with, you know, a woman giving birth and supporting her. And I'm grateful for that experience because it allowed me to make the decision to be the home birth companion that I am today, you know. And also it allowed me the experience to be able to say, okay, I don't like virtual births. So moving forward, I cannot virtually work this way, and I also cannot be a part of any type of hospital setting, you know, unless there's a situation where we're having a home birth and it's an emergency and we need to transfer. That's completely different. Now, clearly I knew that this would narrow down my pool for just finding clients when I opted out of virtual and hospital births. But I was okay with that because there was just no way that I could have another experience like that, and even multiple experiences like that. And so not too long after that, after she gave birth, I did get a client who wanted to have a home birth. And naturally, I was feeling like, okay, this is it. This is going to be my first client. You know, this isn't a friend, a family member. This is, you know, a complete stranger. I can conduct my business the way I really wanted to run, and I can be the doula from beginning to end. Like, I can always act as a doula when I interact with her. Also, from having that experience with my bestie, I don't think that I'm going to be a birth worker for my family. Not to say that I won't be there to support them, but it'll just be a little different. So yeah, you know, she paid her deposits. We had our interview consultation. We had our first prenatal meeting. And then things changed for her for personal reasons. She decided that she didn't want to have a home birth anymore, and so it was just kind of like, dang. So now I consider that to be an experience as well, and I'm grateful for that experience because I learned the business side of it, you know, drawing up a contract and just being clear about what my role is, and, you know, just, you know, the whole little process that I went through. I'm so grateful for it because it allowed me to, you know, get my business side of this birth work in order. And I got paid. You know, hey, I did get that deposit. Thank you. And I did invest that money into, you know, things that I would need for her, but that didn't work out, and it's okay because there's still things that I need for future clients. Now, throughout all of this, there has been traffic. Don't get me wrong. That's just like the farthest that I have gone with everything, you know. I've done interviews with several women, and, you know, for whatever reason, those just didn't align. And so that's, I guess, why I say it's been a struggle. It just hasn't been easy getting clients. But I'm hanging in there, and like I said, with, you know, each experience that I've had thus far, it does help me grow and nurture and build my business. So I'm grateful for those two women and the experiences that I had with them. But I would love to just have my first real client and just have, you know, have it go like how I envision my experience would go with my ideal client. So yeah, I wanted to get on here and just kind of update y'all on what it's been like being a home birth companion, and, you know, just how it's been trying to, you know, establish and build this business. Recently, I actually went to a Black birth workers brunch in Atlanta, Georgia, and I had the pleasure of meeting someone who actually mentors birth workers for the business side, you know, and also training side. So that was just wonderful. Her energy, her spirit, her aura, everything was very attractive to me. So I have already begun the process of reaching out to her. And last night we actually had a consultation, you know, just letting her know what my goals are and her letting her know how she can assist me. So I'm very excited about that. I will definitely drop all of her info in the description box below. Her name is Brandy Bishop, and even if you're like, I'm not in Georgia, I'm in North Carolina, so you can still be mentored from her even if you're not in the same area that she is living in right now. But yeah, y'all, that's pretty much it. This video is gonna be pretty short for obvious reasons because it's just been a struggle. But like I said, I'm hanging in there, and I'm grateful for the queens that, you know, allowed me to be a part of their pregnancy or birth experiences, however that played out. And I'm just looking forward to, you know, just really having, you know, my clients, you know, like from beginning to the end, and not even the end, because I know I'm gonna bond with these women and their babies and their families, you know. So we're gonna always keep in touch, because it's gonna be a special and a sacred and a holy and a divine thing that we all go through together. So I'm just looking forward to it, but I'm also not pressuring myself or, you know, trying to rush the process, because I want it to be right. You know, I want my indigenous lifestyle to really evolve into some great things. Like, my indigenous lifestyle is not going to be like anything else you have witnessed with other birth workers. I'm gonna tell you that right now. We're definitely going to go off into our own lane, our own path, our own journey, and it's going to be very beneficial to a specific group or type of people, but I can't give y'all all the goodies, you know what I'm saying? I can't tell y'all everything, but I'm saying all of that to say I know that everything that I'm going through and the way that I'm going through it, the struggle that I'm claiming that I'm having, which is really not a struggle at all, it's all preparing me, you know, and it's all it's like what they say, Rome wasn't built in a day. Well, guess what? My empire ain't gonna be built in a day either. Okay. Thank you guys for tuning into this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Watch the playlist if you haven't. If this is like, you know, your first time, you just finding this random video. Sis, friend, I have a whole playlist from day 1 all the way up till today. So binge watch that, okay? I love y'all, and I'll see y'all on the next update. Peace.